Good morning, everyone. Hope all of you are doing well and your family is also doing well. Okay. Today we will be having the third module. In the first and second module, we were thinking about what are the objectives of material management and what are the steps involved in purchasing. Hope you have gone through all the modules. Send If you have any comments or suggestions for improvement, please message in the Google Classroom or you can message me in WhatsApp. If you need any clarification or any further details about any topic, please feel free to contact. So today, basically, we will be dealing with four different things: the factors affecting purchasing, the principles of purchasing, centralized and decentralized purchasing. What is the difference between centralized and decentralized purchasing? And last, we will be dealing with the factors considered for selection of suppliers. So, without much ado, let us go to the first point, that is factors affecting purchasing. First factor which affects purchasing is economic conditions. Any fluctuations which will happen in the money market or the interest rates will have an impact on the purchasing. Okay, so that is the first one. Second one, regulatory changes. Regulatory changes in the sense any changes in company laws, rules, regulations, etc., can have an impact on your purchasing policy. The third is the political environment. A change in government or the policy has a direct impact on the economic scenario. Okay, because if there is any changes in the political parties, their interest will change based on their philosophies and their objectives. So based on that, it will have an impact on the money or the price fluctuations will happen in the market, and based on that, naturally there will be an impact on your purchasing policy. Then social environment, based on the changes which occur in the practices and procedures in the society, it will have an impact on your purchasing policy. Then the next one is competition. When there are more competitors for newer product or services, you have to change your purchasing policy based on that. Then the next point is organization's goals and objectives. The goals and objectives of an organization are major determinants as to how and what the organization will purchase. Then policies and procedures, technological levels. Like, are they going to use the current technology, or are they going to update the technology, or just going with the technology in place? All these things will have an impact on your purchasing policies. Manpower skills, like if you are an automated company, then the requirement for purchase will be different from a fully labor intensive production unit. So these will have an influence on your purchasing decisions. Then next one, time factor. Depending on the time available, the organization may decide to place its order with some existing supplier or a supplier that is at a close proximity. If you need something in emergency, you won't go for a new supplier. You will try to settle down with your existing supplier or somebody who is very close, who can give the product within a time period or as quickly as possible. The last one is current financial situation. Based on the credit facility and other cheaper versions which are available, your purchase policy will have an impact. Okay, so these are the factors which influence a purchasing policy. So I hope you understood this. These are very important as your examinations are concerned. Next one, the principles of purchasing. It is nothing but 6R. You can see: right quantity, quality, time, place, cost, and source. Quantity in the sense, the term quantity refers to the quantity that may be purchased at a time with minimum total cost and which obviates shortage of materials. That means, like, the minimum level which should be maintained in order to do the production in a smooth manner. That is the right quantity. And quality refers to the suitability of an item for the purpose it is required. As I told in the class, like, quality is something which will vary depending on for what we are using. For example, as in Three Idiots, it is told that the pen which is being used in moon is generally made of a special type of ink, because that is something which will work in moon. That may not be the requirement for a student who is writing exam for 3 hours and who has to complete it in 3 hours. They will be needing much smooth grip and smooth way of writing it, so that they can write more paper. So quality is something which is purely depending on the requirements. Right time means the time when the stock reaches the minimum level. Okay, all the companies will have set a minimum level wherein the production will be doing smoothly for till the product comes in. So that time when the stock reaches the minimum level is the right time. And right source means, for the procurement of materials, the supplier who can supply material of right quality as ordered in right quantity as ordered at a right time, at which materials were required to be supplied at an agreed price with the supplier, who is in a position to honor the commitment without much follow up, who has necessary financial resources and adequate manpower to handle the order, and who is well established with higher reputation and proven business integrity. So such a person will be the right source, who will be able to give all the other, like, quality, quantity on right time, place and cost, and who is having a good financial resource, who can offer some discounts based on the relationship they are having with the buyer. So such a person will be the right source. And right price, it is that price which brings the best ultimate value of money invested in the purchasing of material. So these are the principles of purchasing. So 6 R's, just remember this: right quantity, right quality, right time, right place, right cost, and right source. These are the 6 R's, or 6 principles of purchasing. Now coming to the next one. Before going, what do you mean by centralized purchasing? Okay, centralized purchasing refers to purchasing which is done by one purchasing department at corporate level, buying the requirements of all the other plants. That means all production unit will be getting, or for all the production unit, the materials will be bought from a center place or a corporate office, and it will be distributed to the production unit based on their requirements. So that is centralized purchasing. There are advantages and disadvantages of centralized purchasing. And what do you mean by decentralized purchasing now? It means purchasing is done by each plant through its own buying department. So each different production unit, for example, think that MRF is having a production unit in Chennai, in Goa, as well as in Kerala. If they are buying for Chennai, everything in Chennai location, for Goa and Kerala, it is called centralized purchasing. If individually in 3 different production unit of MRF, the materials are being collected by the purchasing department of that particular purchasing unit, it is called decentralized purchasing. Okay, there are advantages and disadvantages for centralized as well as decentralized purchasing. So let's see the difference now. I hope you understood. Okay, Centralized purchasing, there will be more control because only one purchasing department is taking care of all the purchases of the company. Decentralized, the control may not be so much effective, but if you check there are certain things which is really helpful in case of decentralized. For example, chances of, like, 13th point, interdepartmental relationship. Okay, it will be more in case of decentralized because the production unit is buying for itself, and they will be having much more control for much more contact with other departments. Okay, and another thing is the bargaining power, which is there with this decentralized purchase, will be more because you will be trying to get your supplies from the local market rather than going for anything far away. So that these are the advantages and disadvantages, and these are the difference between centralized and decentralized purchase. Now coming to the last session of today's module, the factors considered for selection of suppliers. For the quality of your product or the quantity or whatever is related to your raw materials, much of the thing will depend upon the supplier who is supplying. If the supplier is reliable, half your thing is done. So the factors to be considered for selection of suppliers are: first one, the sources of supplier. You have to locate a appropriate source of supplier who can supply various types of material. That is the first thing which you have to find when it comes to selecting a supplier. What are the different options which you have to get that supply? That is the first one. Second one is development of approved list of suppliers. Okay, there are many lists which is available, or you have to shortlist from the amount of suppliers which you have, and you have to select the best ones. So it is always better to have a list of suppliers who can supply you the raw materials or whatever is required in the form of, say, machineries, tools, equipments, stores, then this office stationery, all those things, operational things, all those things should have a list of supplier who can supply in a continuous basis. The third factor which will influence in the selection of suppliers is evaluation and selection of supplier based on their purchasing policies. What are the offers which they have they are willing to give, their payment terms, all those things will have an influence on the selection of suppliers. So these are the things which will be considered for selection of suppliers. So today basically we have dealt with four topics. First one was the factors which will influence the purchasing policy. Second one was the six principles of purchasing. And the fourth point was what is centralized purchasing and what is decentralized purchasing. What is the difference between centralized and decentralized based on different parameters. Then last we considered the factors considered for selection of suppliers. Hope this session was helpful for you. Please go through your textbook and notes and just check whether you understood. If you have any further clarification to be attended, please feel free. Thank you.